scene of the crime, and then
Pictures? For what?
to show the jury. Juries love to look at pictures, especially street scenes where they might recognize somebody they know. You got to be tricky when you want to be...
Come in. Well, hello, Dr. Gamble.
Good morning, my dear. And the merest nod to you, mallet head.
Hi, wide and handsome. You're looking fit as a fiddle today. Bass fiddle, that is.
My, aren't we in a frisky mood? Been feeding the little fellow red meat, Molly?
No, Doctor. He's all steamed up about going to court this afternoon.
Oh?
I got a traffic ticket.
Yeah.
Would you like to come along and give me moral support, Doctor?
Well, I believe not, my dear. My last experience in traffic court was a most unhappy one.
You got a ticket?
No, I was called to testify as a medical expert.
Oh.
In the case of Brown versus Jones, two gentlemen who'd had a collision. Both men admitted they'd had a glass of wine before the accident, so Brown claimed Jones was tighter than a 32 girdle on a 44 lady. Jones claimed Brown was higher than a flying saucer.
Well, what were you supposed to do?
Decide who was intoxicated.
Huh?
Brown's lawyer said he'd been drinking sherry and gave me a glass of it to prove there could be no ill effects. Then Jones's lawyer claimed that Brown had really been drinking Sauterne and gave me a glass of that.
Sounds like nice work.
Then Jones's lawyer gave me a glass of claret, which he said Jones had been drinking. But after I disposed of it, Brown's lawyer objected.
Oh?
He said Jones had actually had muscatel, so I tried that.
My, you were busy.
At that point, the judge asked me to reach a decision and name the guilty party. I sat up very straight, and in a loud, clear voice, I announced a name.
Which name?
Sweet Adeline. Understand, I sang 2 full choruses before court was adjourned.
If you're determined to go to court with this little parking ticket, then at least let me get the advice of an honest-to-goodness lawyer.
No, sir, you're safer with me. The lawyer would just charge you a big fee and sit back on his nolly props.
You don't seem to have a very high opinion of lawyers.
No, and I got a good reason for it, too. Did I ever tell you about the time my cousin Henry hired a lawyer named Root to write a writ?
No. I don't believe you did.
Well, you just sit tight, Tootsie, and you'll hear all about it. Henry wanted a writ written, so he went to Root, and that's what was his rate to write a writ.
They charged too much?
No, the rate was right, but Root wrote a lot of rot that made it the wrong writ.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, and there wasn't time for Root to get out of the rut and rewrite the writ right, so my cousin lost the case because of the rotten writ that rat Root wrote.
Well, that's just one example, McGee. I'm sure most lawyers.
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior.
Hey, I hear you got a parking ticket downtown this morning, Molly. Anything I can do to help?
Thanks, Mr. Wilcox, but I'm beyond help. McGee is going to be my lawyer.
I got this case all planned out. It's in the bag.
And guess who's holding?
Well, gee, I hope you win your case, kid. You know, I've often dreamed about being a great lawyer myself.
I bet you'd make a good one, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, yeah, I think so. I bet I'd always get my clients acquitted. Everybody says I speak very convincingly.
I think they mean constantly.
I face the jury and I say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, all that my client asks is another chance.
You see, if I had another chance, I'd lock the front door.
Don't send this man to prison, I say. Send him back to his home. Send him back to his wife and big one.
Don't you mean little ones?
No, I mean big one. Those big tall cans of pet milk. It's a fabulous recipe printed on the label.
Oh, yeah.
Those exciting, mouth-watering favorite family dishes made with pet milk from the recipes on the label. Well, the eyes of the jury fill with tears.
Embarrassed for you, are they, Hilo?
They fill with tears as they realize how cruel it would be to separate a man from those wonderful husband-tested recipes. Picture my client locked in a cell, I say, away from all that he holds dear, away from the happiness that comes only from those nourishing, doubly delicious dishes his wife prepares with pet evaporated milk. A hush comes over the place. A pall is cast over the sea.
Then Paul gets up and cats you out the window.
I plead, send this man home, I say, and he'll go straight He'll make good. Yes, he'll go straight home and make good meals even better by using fresh milk just. It's time for the verdict. The jury leaves the courtroom.
I left right after their eyes filled with tears.
They come back almost at once, and the foreman says, not guilty. I've won. My client is free to go. The door is open.
So's the one behind you.
Right.
McGee, maybe you should let him help you at that. He's a pretty good speaker, you know.
Ah, Pata, who needs him? We're going to make courtroom history today, kiddo. I'll make headlines in every paper in town.
Yes, I can see them now. Attractive housewife gets 40 years for parking violation.
Kidding, I know what I'm doing. When I get that cop that gave you that ticket on that witness stand and start popping questions at him, I'll have him so mixed up he won't know his own name.
I'll just bet you will.
Here, I'll give you a little demonstration. How a smart lawyer puts a witness's foot in his own mouth. You be the cop, and I'll cross-examine you. When Counselor McGee starts to...
Hold it, Counselor. Come in.
Oh, it's Ole. Hi, Ole. Hey, you're just in time to be a witness, Ole.
Huh? I don't witness nothing, McGee. I can prove I was someplace else when it happened.
No, Ole, McGee just wants you to help him here.
Yeah.
He's going to be my lawyer in traffic court today, and he wants to show me how he'll cross-examine the witnesses.
Okay, I play.
Good. You just pretend you're the cop that gave Molly the ticket, see? And I've got you on the witness stand. Your name is Patrick Joseph Kelly.
Oh, good gracious, this is ridiculous.
Come on, Molly. I want to show Molly how I can get him all tangled up. Just answer my question.
Okay, I answer.
Now, here we go. Officer, what is your name?
Patrick Joseph Kelly, and may all the good spirits forgive me.
Did you give Mrs. Molly McGee a ticket for parking overtime?
I did, faith and behaviors.
Behavior.
That's Irish for by Yemen, you know.
Oh. Now watch me mix him up, you know. You claim she parked at 14th and Oak from 9:15 to 10:25. Now tell the court how you happened to see Mrs. McGee's car.
Well, at 9:12, I was walking from 16th and Pine to get to 10th and Maple by 20 past 9.
Yeah.
And at 14th and Oak, at 9:13, I see a car come from 15th and Walnut and stop 8 feet from the corner at 9:14.
Oh, you were coming from 16th and Maple.
16th and Pine.
Yeah. To get to 10th and Oak, that's 13th at 14th.
10th and Maple at 20 past 9.
Well, how did you know it was 8:12 when the car stopped 14 feet from the Walnut?
9:14, when the car stopped 8 feet from the corner, I look at my watch.
Is it a good watch?
Sure. It has 17 mules, and I buy it in 1935 from a shop at 18th and L.
Yeah.
That's how I know the car stopped at 9:14 when I was going to 10th and Maple.
Oh, it's got 14 elms, and you bought it from a shop at 19th and 35.
17 mules from a shop at 18th and Elm.
Yeah, in 1520.
1945.
Well, how could you be sure? How could you be sure the elm stopped 35 feet from the corner,
That was nice,
19th and
Evelyn.
Jewel, when all you've
Give
got
us
is a
a
car
number,
with
right?
17 walnuts that you bought from the net? Well, I object.
Thank goodness I'm a free man.
The King's Men and around the corner beneath the berry tree.
Around the corner, beneath the berry tree. Put fast behind the bush, looking for Emily. Emmy? Oh, tonight all the folks will cut the cord, tonight.
What are you talking about? You mean
For my
you-
Emily, I'll be. She'll be cutting corn with me, and we'll meet beneath the bitter berry tree.
I don't know if it was actually
Beneath the berry tree. Put fast behind the bush, looking for Emily. Emmy. Oh, tonight all the stars are shining bright, Tonight all the cornfields are a sight. I have reached the meeting spot, but my Emily has not, and I wonder can it be
Yeah,
that she
murdered.
forgot? Around the corner, beneath the berry tree. Along the footpath behind the bush, looking for Emily. Tonight as the moon begins to sing, tonight that which I think will at last bring her to me, my beloved Emily. But I don't see why so late she has to be. Around the corner, beneath the berry tree. Along the footpath behind the bush, looking for Emily.
Emmy.
Oh, I told Emily to go away. Away. But now I'm sad she didn't stay. And tomorrow night if she comes looking round for me, I'll be sitting beneath the bitterberry tree. Here on the corner, whoop, whoop, beneath the berry tree. Hey, look what's that behind the bush, looking for me.
Well, this is it, kiddo. Come on, the courtroom's right down this way.
I'm scared, McGee.
What are you scared about? Gee whiz, you got me for your lawyer, haven't you? What more could you want?
An airplane ticket to South America. Look, dearie, it's not too late to go home, is it? We could call up and tell them we're mailing the fine
No,
to
sir,
them.
they can't intimidate us.
Speak for yourself. I'm intimidated half to death.
We got our rights, Molly. According to the Constitution of the United States, every criminal is entitled to a fair trial. And you're just as good as any other criminal.
Well, thank you, Patrick Henry.
We'll let Judge see my courtroom technique. I'll dazzle him. I'll fracture him. Come on inside. There's Mayor Latrivia sitting back there, see? I asked him to come in as a character witness because we may need
Mrs. Molly McGee. Is Mrs. McGee in the courtroom?
Oh, dear, we barely made it. Here she is. I mean, I'm her, sir.
Yeah, Mrs. McGee is us, Bud. You the judge?
No, I'm the bailiff, mister.
Oh.
That's Judge Blake sitting on the bench.
Bench. Looks like a swivel chair.
In court, Molly, they call a chair a bench because a judge's seat is too wide to get in the...
Order, please. Order in the court. Take the stand, Mrs. McGee.
Yes, Judge.
Now then, Mrs. McGee, you're charged with parking over the legal limit at 14th and Oak this morning. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I object. That question is immature and irrelevant. Only because she's liable to incriminate herself.
Just a minute here. Who is this man, bailiff?
He's my...
I'll tell him, Molly. I'm the man that he represents, this poor innocent little girl. Counselor McGee.
Are you a practicing attorney, Mr. McGee?
I'm all through practicing. I'm working at it now.
I see. Well, let's get on with the case. Is the arresting officer in court?
Right here, Your Honor.
Good. Just tell us in your own words about this arrest, officer.
Yeah, let's hear your version of it. A likely story, probably.
Quiet. Let's hear this.
Well, Your Honor, I was riding my beat, maintaining law and order, and writing out parking tickets.
While they held up the bank.
While they held up... They did not! Holds up any banks on my beat. I maintain law and order.
Officer, don't panic. Just proceed with the testimony.
Yes. Well, sir, I saw this defendant park her car and go into downtown, so I chalked the time on her tire. 9:15. Then I went to the Waltz malt shop.
Pinched a waitress.
Pinched away. I did that! I rode my beat till 10:25, and Mrs. McGee's car was still parked there. I took out my book, reached into my cap,
And got a banana.
and got a banana.
Quiet, McGee. Quiet, McGee.
Oh, intimidating a witness, eh? I object.
Objection overruled. Order in the court. Order in the court. Shut up, bailiff.
Shut up, bailiff. Oh, that's me.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet.
May I say a word, Your Honor?
Please do, Mrs. McGee. Somebody ought to make sense here.
Well, I just want to say that I'm sorry. I'm not in the habit of breaking the law, but I just didn't realize how long I was in the bonton.
Right. It could happen to anybody. And we got a witness right here to tell you that my client is not a criminal. Mayor Latrivia, front and center.
Thank you. If Your Honor pleases, I've been asked to appear for this lady, although I'm not quite...
Well, the court is honored, Your Honor. Bailiff, let his honor through the railing there.
Yes, Your Honor. This way, Your Honor. Thank you.
You know this defendant, Your Honor?
Very well, Your Honor.
Well, how long has Your Honor known her?
Many years, Your Honor. Now, I do not presume to judge the merits of this case, Your Honor, but if Your Honor pleases, she is an honest, law-abiding citizen. I'll swear to that, Your Honor.
On your honor, Your Honor?
On my honor, Your Honor.
If you two, your honors, will stop yakking for a minute. We can get on with letting this defendant go. We've heard the evidence. I vote for acquittal. How do you vote, Molly? Acquittal? Okay, that settles the whole...
All right, that will do. I understand the defendant admits her guilt.
We shall be clear.
That's correct.
Everybody should gather.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what? If she wasn't just an ordinary citizen, she wouldn't even be here. If she was a big shot, she wouldn't have got a ticket in the first place.
Quiet!
Okay, I'll be quiet.
McGee, I should hold you in contempt of court for that.
What's that?
Let me tell you that in this court, every defendant is treated alike.
Oh, yeah?
If the governor of this state violates our laws, he will be punished.
Oh, yeah, well, that's all I wanted to hear you say, Buster, or Judge. Hand me that big brown envelope, Molly.
This one?
Right. Your Honor, I have here a set of pictures I took myself with my little brownie this morning. This is the corner where my wife was arrested.
Very interesting, but I don't know what
Take a look at it. Take a look at it. See that black car against the fire plug there? That belongs to His Honor, Mayor Latrivia. See him sitting behind the wheel?
What? Let me see that. Is that you? Is that you, Your Honor? Parked next to a fire plug?
Yes, it is. But I can explain, Your Honor. Come to think of it, I can't explain either.
I'll say you can't.
Oh, that's a good picture, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
That's Miss Newell with you, isn't it? She's cute. And...
Never mind. Who do I pay?
Just pay the bailiff, Your Honor. $5, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Here, bailiff, take it.
Now, that's the stuff, Your Honor. Now, take a look at this picture here. You recognize that green sedan?
Your fine, Mrs. McGee, is also a sedan. Let me see that.
Right there in front of Kramer's drugstore where it says absolutely no parking. Whose car?
Well, that is... Bailiff, take this $10. Mark Mrs. McGee's fine paid and mine, too. That's my car, McGee.
And that's my point, Judge.
That's my hero, boys, Counselor McGee.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. Do you know why so many good cooks would rather use pet evaporated milk than any other kind? Because pet milk is actually twice as rich as bottled milk in all the nourishing whole milk substances. You see, all cow's milk is about 87% water. By evaporation, the pet milk people take out a little more than half that water. All the nourishing milk substances stay in. But with so much of the water removed, you get those substances in concentrated form. And that's why good cooks like pet milk. You can use it in place of cream, just as it pours from the can, even in place of whipping cream. And for cooking, you can decide for yourself just how rich you want pet milk to be by the amount of water you put back into it. You can add just a little water, or to give it the same consistency as the good sweet country milk had before evaporation, you can mix pet milk with an equal amount of water. And remember, pet evaporated milk, the first all-purpose form of milk, costs less generally than ordinary bottled milk. Get some at your grocer's tomorrow.
Wasn't that Judge nice, McGee?
Yep.
Believe me, I'll be careful where I park after this. Car's right down here. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Look, ticket on the windshield.
What? Why, those dirty rats. Giving us a ticket while we're in court. Give me that ticket.
Here. What does it say?
It says... Oh. Would you take $700 cash for this car? He's Smiling Joe, the friendly pirate, at 14th and... Oh, good night.
Good night, Al.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency plea for funds from your American Red Cross. Your money is urgently needed to help fight the current flood disaster. Please send your donation immediately to your nearest Red Cross chapter. When a young married couple decides not to let a baby make a difference in their way of life, it can develop into a kind of comedy of errors, as you'll hear in the story of the week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. Right after the story comes Mary Lee Taylor's recipe of the week for Spanish fruit cream, a nourishing pet milk dessert that's easy to make and good for every member of the family.
Cream.
Don't miss the big double feature Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning on NBC.
Now it's Eddie Cantor's Show Business Show on NBC.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. First Evaporated Milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilson. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Some foods just naturally go together, like bread and butter, ham and eggs, and coffee and pet milk. Lots and lots of folks who used to take cream in their coffee now use pet evaporated milk. Not just because pet milk costs so much less, but because it makes coffee taste so good. Gives coffee the creamy color and mellow, satisfying flavor that coffee drinkers love. Let me tell you why pet milk is so right for coffee. The pet milk people take good, sweet country milk and remove more than half the water by evaporation. The result is a concentrated milk, which makes coffee taste better. And think of it, for the same amount of money you'd spend for coffee cream, you get more than twice. So, for extra enjoyment, for extra economy, in your coffee, use Pet brand evaporated milk. Get several cans at your grocer's tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the opening day of Wistful Vista's annual Potted Plant and Pet Show. In the potted plant division will be rare begonias, gorgeous lilies, exotic orchids, and a small, tired geranium. Entered by Mr. McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
And that's it right there in the corner of the flower bed, Molly. My own little hand-raised salmon-colored geranium. Look at it. Ain't it a beauty?
That poor little wilted-looking chewed-up thing sticking up there through the crabgrass.
That's it. That's the little geranium that's going to cop top prize tomorrow.
Oh, you happy optimist.
You betcha. I've planted plenty of plants in my day, but I can say one thing about that plant that I never could say about any other plant I ever planted.
What's that?
It lived.
Yes, if that's the geranium's idea of living.
Look at it.
Honestly, though, dearie, what kind of an award do you expect to win with that sad little batch of bug bait?
Huh?
A special vote of thanks from the neighborhood grasshoppers, could be?
Oh, well. I'll admit the grasshoppers have chewed half the leaves off it, and I'll admit it ain't very big, but I'm going to take care of that. I got a terrific idea today.
Uh-oh. Break it to me gently.
Look, there's all kinds of stuff on the market to make plants grow, right?
Right.
And there's all kinds of stuff to kill bugs, right?
Right.
So if you mix them all together, you'll get a concoction that'll make plants grow as big as trees and kill every bug from a boll weevil to a woods beetle, right?
Wrong. But I'm sure that won't keep you from trying it, right?
Right. Wait till you see what I got on the back porch. I bought myself 16 kinds of plant food and 12 different types of bug killers. Going to mix them all together, add a few special touches of my own, and pour the whole mess on my little geranium.
You really think that will help it?
Help it. Just see, when that mighty mixture of mine starts to work, that geranium will grow faster than a welt on a beekeeper. I'll bring the stuff out here right now and start mixing it on account.
Hello there, kid.
Well, hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi.
Start mixing what, Johnny? What you gonna mix?
Oh.
I'll take one with plenty of ice because warm day like
No. I was just going to mix up some bug killer, old-timer.
Oh, skip it. I'm as thirsty as I thought I was.
He's growing a geranium for the flower show, Mr. Oldtimer, the potted plant and pet show.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that show. Too bad we ain't got Sylvester no more.
Huh?
He'd have sure won first prize in the pet part of it.
Sylvester. Was he a dog you used to have?
No, daughter, Sylvester was a chimpanzee.
Oh?
One of them large economy-sized monkeys.
Where'd you get him, old-timer?
Bought him off a sailor, Johnny.
That's so.
He claimed Sylvester was a native of British East Africa, but I don't know. As long as we had him, he never spoke a word of British.
Probably just shy.
Well, we was mighty fond of Sylvester. He ate at the table with us and went everywhere we went.
Must have been like one of the family.
More like two of the family, Johnny.
Oh?
Looked like Papa around the face and my Aunt Gertrude around the leg.
Those monkeys are very good at imitating people, aren't they?
Oh, Sylvester was very talented, daughter. Everything we done, he done, in spades. I mind one time a rich lady come to visit us, though, and he tried to imitate her and wound up in the hospital.
Oh, what in the world did she do?
She was wearing a fur coat and took it off. Before we could stop Sylvester, he'd ripped off half his hair.
Whatever happened to Sylvester, old-timer?
Oh, that's a strange story, Johnny.
Yeah?
One night we took Sylvester to the movies, and he saw one of them Tarzan pictures where Tarzan's best friend is a chimpanzee. That did it.
You mean he got the movie bug?
Yep, it hit him hard. And we wanted him to be happy, so we bought him a pink sports shirt, some purple slacks, and a green beret, and put him on a train to Hollywood.
Well, did he have any luck out there?
Got a screen test right away, and they offered him a contract to play Tarzan's chimpanzee friend in the next picture.
Boy.
Poor Sylvester pined away and died of a busted heart.
Why did he pine away? He had a contract to play Tarzan's friend.
He didn't want to play the chimpanzee. He wanted to play Tarzan. Billy Mills in the orchestra with Humana, featuring Buddy Cole at the piano.
Well, my mixture's starting to ripen up, kiddo. Getting some real character to it.
From the odor, I'd say it ripened about 6 months ago.
Well, when you dump 3 kinds of plant grow on top of 4 kinds of bug killer, you don't expect to get Chanel number 5. At least I don't. Never use the stuff anyhow. Give me that quart bottle of bug killer, will you? Thanks.
Looks horrible.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Now I'll crumble in a couple of alfalfa cigars.
Your cigars. Oh, that shouldn't happen to a bug.
Since I started smoking these alfalfa Coronas, we haven't had a moth in our closet. And that's just from the smoke that goes through the keyhole. They ought to be great for gassing the grasshopper on account of the...
Oh, who's coming, McGee? Hello, Doctor.
Afternoon, Molly.
Yeah.
Hi, elephant ears.
Well, if it isn't the little round doctor with the big square head. Pull up a porch step and set a spell, Dutch Cake.
Thank you, my boy. But I'm happy to say I can't stay.
Good.
I'm on my way over to see Alderman Jones.
Oh?
He has a sudden attack of subpoena sickness today.
Subpoena sickness.
Yes, I'm going to look into his ears, nose, and throat while the city looks into his tax return.
Uh-oh. You're the guy that announces to the papers that he's too sick to testify, huh?
That's what the alderman thinks, yes.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I'm the guy that'll carry him into that courtroom piggyback.
Have you ever thought of going into politics yourself, Doctor?
Yeah, you'd be great, boy. Turn around a minute. Yeah, you ought to run for governor, Fatso. You sure got the platform for it.
Look at the lad with the pot calling the kettle black. And speaking of pots, what's in the basket, in the bucket there?
Well, that's his combination plant grower and bug killer, Doctor.
Yeah. Hey, what you going to do this summer, Doctor? How would you like to spend your vacation lying in a hammock under the shade of a giant geranium helping me count dead grasshoppers?
My boy, you paint an almost irresistible picture. But I'll resist it to my last breath.
Hmm?
Where is the giant geranium?
Well, it's right down there, Doctor. The little... It was there a minute ago.
Get your big flat foot off of my little giant geranium. You big clumsy clobberhead. My gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it.
That ratted awkward oaf. Look what you done to my... Oh, it's over here. You didn't step on it, George.
I'm so glad.
For a minute. Oh, you got to go, Doc?
Yes, I've been forgetting to buy myself a fishing license, McGee. And just watching you reminds me of bass fishing.
Bass fishing? Because I'm such a great sport?
No, because you're such a big mouth.
Oh.
Isn't he nice, McGee?
Awful jealous, though. Boy, this stuff is getting strong.
Yes, sir. Every time I whip it, I get weak.
It'll sure murder the bugs around here. Ought to be strong enough to kill rattlesnakes, too.
Oh, what in the world made you think of rattlesnakes?
Something that happened to a fellow I used to know that raised cactus plants by the name of Oscar Updike. Oscar was out in his cactus plant garden one day, fooling around with the plants, and he looked down, and there was a rattlesnake right beside his hand, all set to give him the business.
Heaven, Dave, he must have been a gas.
Well, for a minute he was a gas, and then he was a ghost.
Well, now, if you plan to entertain me with any more stories like that...
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. What brings you here?
Just followed my nose.
I see.
What are you doing? Boiling your hip boots in sulfur and molasses?
No, sir. I'm mixing up a mixture to make plants grow, and it'll be the most powerful stuff to make stuff grow that was ever invented.
Oh, now, wait a minute, pal. Nothing makes anything grow better than pet milk makes babies grow.
Junior, I admire you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't try to sneak it in. You just come right out and said it. Smack dab.
Well, this week, the thought of babies has been uppermost in my mind. You see, this is National Baby Week. I've even written a poem about it.
Here's where I stop admiring you.
I'm sure there's no need to ask if you'd like to hear it.
There sure isn't.
I knew you would.
No, sir.
Well, it goes like this. 3 cheers for National Baby Week, and 3 cheers for the babies who drink pet milk through a nipple. For those babies will soon grow up and become the American tipple.
I think I'm going to be ill.
Babies raised on pet milk are strong and healthy, and that's no idle rumor, whether they live in Cleveland, Ohio, or in Dallas, Texas, or in Birmingham, Alabama. Don't you like the rhythm, pal? Hasn't it got a swing to it?
Yeah, and you ought to swing for it.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Listen to my big finish.
Oh, you got to finish.
Yeah. So hooray for National Baby Week, and pet milk, and hooray for babies. Because when you raise them on pet, which is good sweet country milk evaporated to double richness, you give them a wonderful start. And I don't mean maybes. Well, what do you think of it?
Junior, I can tell you best with a verse of my own. Some kinds of poems can be sold for lots of money, even if they do sound confusing. But the kind that Wilcox writes ain't worth a dime a dozen. Goodbye, Junior.
So long, Cat.
Well, back to work. Boy, I can hardly wait to see how that geranium looks after I feed it this stuff tonight, tomorrow. What's the little plant doing? Anything?
No. No, it's just sitting there.
Well, it'll be a happy hunk of herb tomorrow, kiddo. It'll probably be so big I won't be able to put it in a pot. I'll have to have it potted in a bathtub.
Yes, yes.
Remember the time Uncle Dennis got potted in his bathtub? He completely forgot he had it full of gin and climbed into it one Saturday night, remember?
Poor Uncle Dennis, he took a bath 3 times a day after that. And his skin got as wrinkled as a tangerine. But he got over it.
Good morning, Molly and McGee.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, hi, Latrivia. I didn't hear you coming. Boy, the way you politicians pussyfoot around on your pussyfooting feet.
Yeah. What's this I hear about you and the flower show, McGee? Dr. Gamble tells me.
Yeah, you're looking at the geranium that's going to be the star of the show, Latriv. There it is.
That spindly sprig?
Mr. Mayor, to him it is a thing of beauty.
Yes.
Because he raised it himself.
Well, I know how amateur gardeners are inclined to exaggerate. I had a friend who grew tomatoes in his backyard, and he offered to give me one. Said it weighed 20 pounds.
A 20-pound tomato?
Yes, yes. Of course, I took it with a grain of salt.
Wasn't it sort of tasteless that way?
I beg your pardon?
I should think you need more than 1 grain of salt on a tomato that
Yeah.
size.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you misunderstood me.
Uh-huh.
You see, taking it with a grain of salt is merely a figure of speech. The salt is purely hypothetical.
Heavenly days, what'll they think of next? First it was dehydrated vegetables, and now it's hypothetical salt.
Just a moment. I'm afraid you don't
How do they make this hypothetical salt, Mr. Mayor? Do they take ordinary salt and shoot tentacles into it with a hypo?
Please. Let's all settle down.
Settle down, kiddo.
Are we settled?
Yeah.
Now then, when I said I took the 20-pound tomato with a grain of salt, I simply meant that I didn't believe there was such a tomato. You understand?
Oh, you didn't believe it. Boy, I'll bet you were plenty took back when the guy walked up and handed it to you.
Nobody handed me a 20-pound tomato at all.
Oh, you stole it.
Yes. No. That's ridiculous. I never stole a tomato in my life. I never will steal a
Well,
tomato.
if you don't plan to steal tomatoes, how come you go around with a pocket full of salt?
I don't go around with a socket full of malt.
What?
A full attack with
You said
salt.
it was-
Salt! Salt! When I said he had a plenty-pound tomato, many brown potatoes, 20 alligators, gators, I never put a strain of gold into Leo's in my life. The solid widow without a knife. Why, you're the ones who said it was not. I was. And it was. And I was. McGee,
Yes, boy?
I'm having a conference with the Power Commissioner tomorrow, and I wish you'd come along. There's something in his department I'd like you to handle.
Okay, I'll be glad to handle it. What is it?
A live wire with 50,000 volts. Goodbye.
The King's Men with a new song by Ken Darby and Elliot Daniel, Roll Out the Wagon.
Why are the girls so merry? Why are the boys so gay? There's a hayride, a hayride. There's gonna be a hayride. Roll out the wagon. Let's take a ride in the hay. Roll out the wagon. I'll hold your hand all the way. Bring along a cider jug and the one that you love to hug, and we'll roll out the wagon and all make roll out the wagon, just get a load of that roll out the wagon, we can economy. a little bit, chat a little bit, this a little bit, that a little bit, in a little bit, we'll grow bolder. Hug a little bit, kiss a little bit, that a little bit, this a little bit, then with your head on my shoulder. With your head on my shoulder. We will roll, roll in the way. The stars above. We fall up in love. So let's play. All comes in one. Hey, right, so let's roll, roll, roll the wagon and all.
Well, how's it coming, dearie? The bottom fall out of the bucket yet?
I'm just about ready to pour it on, kiddo. McGee's patented plant pusher-upper with the built-in bug buster. Boy, what an idea. It's a wonder nobody thought of this before.
Well, I tell you, they just don't make brains like yours anymore.
Yeah.
I guess.
After I douse this stuff on that geranium, it'll not only grow a mile a minute, but any insect that takes a bite out of it is just committing insecticide. Stand back, baby, while I slosh it on.
Yes, I'll stand way back. I'd hate to get hit under the chin with a shooting geranium. Pour it on slowly now.
Oh, now, come, Molly. It won't grow so fast that you can't get out of the way. Believe us not exaggerate. If it only grows a couple of feet by morning, I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, geranium with 2 feet ought to make an interesting exhibit. When it walks down the aisle at the plant show, oh, hello, Ole.
Well, hello, Mrs. Hi, Goose.
Hi, Ole. Does that geranium look a little taller to you already, Molly?
No, it doesn't, dearie. It just looks wet and frightened is all. Although I did see a grasshopper there when you poured the stuff on.
Yeah?
He took off like a jet.
You watering the flowers with a bucket, McGee? There's my horse you borrowed, because I...
No. I'm just feeding my little giant geranium, Ole. New type of stuff I invented. I'll give you all the details tomorrow.
I can wait, believe me.
What's new at your house, Ole? Anything?
I'm glad you asked me that, Mrs., because yes. We had a lot of excitement at home last night.
Oh?
About 1 o'clock in the morning, a burglar breaks in the house.
Yeah, my gosh, a burglar at your house?
Yeah, the silly fool. He climbed in the dining room window in his bare feet.
Barefooted. Did he take anything?
He sure did, Mrs. He took one heck of a beating. He tiptoes through the dining room, and the first thing he steps on is little oldest marbles. He loses his balance, falls on the sofa, sits on Mrs. knitting needles, and lets out a holler that wakes up the kids. That was a mistake.
Were they scared?
No, the kids had the time of their life, McGee.
Yeah?
Little Sven, he runs out on the stairs and starts shooting at him with his Buck Rogers ray gun. And that slowly he sends off his jet plane that goes... It was just plain murder.
My gosh, what were you doing all this time?
What would I be doing? Trying to sleep, of course. Mrs. shooks me and hollers, quick, Ole, the children are fighting with a burglar. That's when a burglar breaks in my house, that's his problem, the heck with him.
My goodness, did the children capture him then?
No, he jumped through the front window head first and broke $10 worth of glass. But he dropped a sack with $20 worth of money, so the kids make $5 apiece.
Pretty good night's work.
Yeah, and when I left today, the kids was putting up a sign that says, "Burglars welcome, sneak right in." I better see if I can sneak in now. So long, both you fellas.
So long.
Well, come on in, dearie, and I'll start the dinner.
Okay. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait for morning. When we wake up tomorrow to find the whole house shaded from one geranium plant, with dead bugs and grasshoppers all over the joint,
McGee! Breakfast!
Right here, kiddo. Hold everything. I can't eat yet.
Why, McGee, you aren't even dressed.
Yeah, I just pulled my pants on over my geraniums. I got to run out in the yard and look at my giant geranium.
Oh, that, I forgot.
Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see it. With that combination plant growing bug killer. Hey, how tall you bet it is by now? 3 feet? 12 feet? 87 feet? 4 inches?
Oh, no. Don't get so excited about it. Maybe it didn't work, or maybe...
You wait here, Tootsie. I'll run and measure it. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Oh, dear. Little Tom Swift and his giant geranium. Not even Tom Swift could have thought up this one. Dead bugs, tall geraniums. Oh, well, he'll get over it and think up something else before night.
Hey, Molly! Molly, hey, Molly!
Yeah?
I done it. Boy, oh boy, have I got a prize winner.
What? You what? You mean
Oh,
it
this is terrific. I'll cop first prize at that potted plant and pet show and stand this town on its ear. Come on out here, quick.
My goodness, you mean it really did work?
Oh.
How big is the geranium anyway?
Oh, it ain't the geranium, Molly. That plant food and the bug killer must have got mixed in reverse somehow or other. you see.
Reverse?
Yeah, instead of making the plant grow and kill the bugs, it worked backwards. The geranium died.
Died?
Yeah.
Well, then how can you win a prize?
Gonna change my entry to the pet division, kiddo. Look what I got out here on the back porch here. Look at it. A grasshopper 3 feet tall.
What?
Gonna put a saddle on him and enter him in the pet show. Down, boy. Down.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. Fixing good, nourishing meals day after day is really work, but most any woman will tell you that she doesn't mind it as long as the family likes what she cooks and tells her so. And compliments do seem to come oftener to women who cook with Pet evaporated milk. There's a wonderful difference in foods cooked with Pet milk because there's a difference in the milk itself. All the richness, all the natural goodness that's in a full quart of good, sweet country milk is concentrated in a single pint of Pet milk. That's because more than half the water has been taken out by evaporation. So, of course, what remains is a concentrated milk, which is bound to add extra goodness to favorite family foods. Extra wholesomeness, too, and at a low cost. Because Pet milk costs less generally than bottled milk or any other form of milk. Get the habit of cooking with Pet's evaporated milk and see if you don't get more compliments on the food you pick. It happens regularly to the good cooks who cook with Pet's evaporated milk.
Hey, you know what day this is, Molly? This is the 20th anniversary of One Man's Family.
Yes, isn't that wonderful? They've brought a lot of fine listening to their many listeners all these years.
He said it. I think we ought to congratulate him. Maybe send him a present even. Hand me the phone.
Yes.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Carlton E. Morris at One Man's Family. Hello, Carl. This is Fibber McGee.
And Molly.
Yeah, and Molly. Congratulations on the anniversary, Carl. I and Molly think you all have done a great job, and we want to send you a little present. Yeah, look, Carl. How would you like a pet grasshopper 3 feet tall? Okay, Carl. What did he say? He's already got one. Them rich guys have got everything. Down, boy. Down.
First evaporated milk, Pet milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? When you make a decision that can affect your whole future, and suddenly you begin to feel insecure and uncertain, what's the best thing to do? Well, that's the question Jim and Sally Clark are faced with in the Story of the Week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. Be sure to hear this dramatic story. And also Mary Lee Taylor's special recipe of the week for soft molasses cookies. Spicy, pure cookies that you can make easily and inexpensive. Tune in sure to this same NBC station next Saturday morning for Pet Milk, Mary Lee Taylor. Down, boy. Yeah. Down.
Now, Eddie Cantor brings you more fine entertainment on NBC.
NBC delays the start of this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Early returns from the important Democratic presidential primary in Florida give Senator Richard Russell a slim lead over Senator Kefauver. The figures, Russell, 5,666, Kefauver, 4,830. That's with only 5% of the vote counted. Stay tuned to your NBC station for the later news. The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Arthur Q. Bryan, Gil Stratton Jr., Gloria McMillan, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Last Sunday was a big day in the life of Charles and Ethel Collins of New York. For the famous Collins quadruplets were 3 years old that day. And what a happy birthday. There they all were, just as happy and vigorous as any 3-year-old you ever saw. The very same youngsters who, at birth, were so tiny and delicate, everyone wondered whether they would live at all. It would do your heart good to see the difference those 3 years have made, to see how the Collins babies have grown and thrived on their feedings of pet evaporated milk. Almost from the day of their birth, they've had the nutritional benefits of safe, easy-to-digest pet milk. And their steady growth, their strong, straight limbs and sound teeth are evidence that they could have had no better milk. We who are associated with Pet Milk Company are very glad and proud to have had some part in the happy birthday of the Collins quadruplets. Today is a perfect day for a picnic out at Dugan's Lake. The white clouds are drifting, the green trees are rustling, the blue waters are gleaming, and the black ants are waiting for Fibber McGee and Molly.
Well, I think the lunch is about ready to pack now, dearie.
Good.
Let's see, the deviled eggs, angel food cake, peanut butter sandwiches.
Don't forget the coffee, kiddo. Nothing like a big mug full of hot coffee to wash down a sandwich. And speaking of a big mug full of hot coffee, is Doc Gamble going with us?
Well, he hopes to, yes.
Well, then you better make 3 extra sandwiches.
I made them.
I ate them.
I saw you.
Oh.
So I made them again.
Oh, good.
Now, you leave the lunch alone, lover. There'll be 7 of us on this picnic.
Okay,
so...
I'll finish packing my own stuff here. Now, let me see. I got my ball and glove, so we can play a little baseball. My Boy Scout axe, in case we get lost in the woods.
Lost? If you got lost, what would you do with a Boy Scout axe?
Why, I just ask a Boy Scout which way the lake is. Good. Don't you get it, Molly? Scout axe a scout?
Ain't funny, McGee.
Okay, I'll leave it alone. A few books here in case I get tired exercising.
Books?
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking, the care and feeding of Charlie horses? Because when you play ball,
Well, I'm just taking a few old favorites. I'm taking the Rover Boys in Alcatraz. Tom Swift and his radium pants buttons. The Bobbsey twins meet Frankenstein. And a book I started reading when I was a kid and never finished. Always wondered how it came out.
What's the name of it?
Goldilocks.
Oh, she escaped from the 3 bears.
Oh, Dad rat it, now you spoiled it for me. Oh, I got plenty without it. I'm taking my pitch pipe, too, so that we can get together and harmonize.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That'll be mighty nice.
Yes, I remember one of our last picnics when we all sat beside the lake and sang the old song.
Yeah, all but your Uncle Dent. While we sang Coming Through the Rye, he was going through the bourbon.
Well, poor Uncle Dennis, he was feeling sort of low that day.
Yeah, not when we got back home, he wasn't.
Now, McGee, you stop picking on Uncle Dennis.
Well, have you seen my swimming trunks around anywhere? I may try for a new speed record out there today.
See?
Yeah.
Let's face the fact, you're not a very fast swimmer.
Oh, no, it might interest you to learn, my dear, but I was a sensation last week in the pool at the Elks Club.
Really?
You bet. I got going so fast I swam right out of my inner tube. I was really having an...
Come in. Well, good morning, Dr. Gamble.
Good morning, my dear. How are you, feeble face? Raring to go, Pickle Middle. You gonna be with us, or do we get a break? I'll be with you both as a friend and physician. Ready to pluck your carcass when you fall into a bramble bush, or to empty you neatly when you try to swallow Dugan's Lake. How soon do we leave, Molly?
Oh, in about an hour. Young Ed from the drugstore and Debbie Lynn are going with us.
Yeah, and Harlow Wilcox and Wallace Mickle.
Oh, fine. I'll have time for one last call I have to make. There was an addition to the Carr family last night. George Gamble officiating. I promised to drop by this morning.
My gosh. Mrs. Carr have another
a train of 15 little cars. I feel sure this wasn't the caboose.
My goodness, she must have worn her fingers to the bone for those children, just counting them.
Must be tough to keep track of them. How do they know when they're all at home?
Well, it worked out a very simple system. When it's time for school to let out, they open the front door. And when the house is full of children, they close and lock it. Pretty shrewd. Well, the other women in the neighborhood take advantage of them.
Is that so?
Yes, they encourage their kids to sneak in with the little cars.
Oh.
And they go over and claim them after they've been fed and bathed.
Well, does Mr. Carr feel like the proud father?
Well, he's getting used to it.
Yeah, I imagine.
At first, he handed out cigars every time a child was born.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just keeps a barrel of tobacco on the front porch, and his friends come by and roll their own.
Well, Doctor, what is the new baby, a boy or girl?
It's a husky 9-pound boy. Should turn out to be a great man if he lives up to his name.
What did they call him?
Well, there was quite an argument about it. Mr. Carr is a Republican and his wife is a Democrat. So they finally compromised.
Compromise.
Yes, they named the baby Eisenflopper. Wait for me, I'll hurry back.
So long, Doc.
Well, I guess you have to be alive 55 years ago.
Well, in the meantime, I got to find my swimming trunks. I've looked everywhere for those trunks. Oh, I know where they are.
Where?
They're right here in the hall closet.
No, McGee, no, not the hall closet.
Straighten out that closet one of these days. Down.
Billy Mills in the orchestra and the Blacksmith Blues.
Gee, I wish we could get going. What's holding everybody up?
Now, don't be impatient, dearie. We told them what time to be here, and it's only 1/4 out.
Seems more like 1/2 past. I think I'll call the Weather Bureau and see if it's clear out at Dugan's Lake.
It should be. It's a beautiful day.
Well, never hurts to make sure. Hello? I want to speak to the Weather Bureau. Oh, is that you, Miss? Oh, dear. How's every little thing, Miss? Down, down. What's that, Miss? Your kid brother. Broken back, eh?
Oh, the poor lad. What happened?
Started to hitchhike to California yesterday with a buck in his pocket. Nurse says he's broken back already. Well, thank you, Myrtle. Goodbye.
Line busy as usual?
What this town needs is thicker telephone wires so there'd be room for 2 calls at a time. If I had my way, I'd get the telephone. Uh-oh, here's somebody. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, hi, Wimp.
Hello, folks. I'm ready to go. Which way's the picnic?
Well, we leave as soon as the others get here, Mr. Wimple. You're by yourself, are you?
Yes, I just came from the railroad station, Mrs. McGee. I just took her on the train to her mother's.
Her? You mean?
Yes, sweetie face, my big old wife.
Will you miss her, Mr. Wimple?
Will I miss her? I miss you like a worry.
Like a hole in the head?
No thanks, I already have one, Mr. McGee. Oh, I'm really on the town today. I'm really living it up.
Well, we should have a nice afternoon, Mr. Wimple. What have you got under your arm there? You didn't bring your lunch, have you?
No, this is my bird book, Mrs. McGee. I want to spend the afternoon out there catching up on my bird watching. I'd love to see a purple bunting out there today.
A purple bunting?
Yes. I'd like to give it a call and see if it would answer me.
Oh?
The last time I tried it, I was a complete failure.
The bird wouldn't talk, eh?
No, it was very embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I crept up close to a purple bunting and went, tweedle, tweedle, tweedle. But it didn't answer me. I tried again. Tweedle, tweedle, tweedle. Still, nothing happened.
Ever find out what was wrong?
Yes, it was so silly. Really. The call of the purple bunting is actually tweedle, tweedle, tweedle. I tweedled when I should have tweedled.
Well, that's pretty careless, boy, but if I was you, Wimp, I wouldn't get too wrapped up in birds. Don't forget the story of what happened to a couple of early Americans in the Plymouth Rock days. It even started a proverb.
I don't believe I know the story.
Okay, I'll tell it to you. It was around Thanksgiving, see? And this fellow and his wife were outside their log cabin. She was stuffing a big turkey, had both arms in it up to her elbow. And he was picking cranberries off a bush. Then up came a bad Indian with a tomahawk, ready to scalp him.
My, what suspense.
Well, the wife could do nothing to protect herself on account of she had both hands stuck in the turkey, you see. But the fellow reached around under the cranberry bush, found a rock, slung it at the Indian, and knocked him cold.
And that started a proverb?
Yep. A hand in the bush is worth two in the bird.
Isn't that interesting?
You think so?
Frankly, no. I never said that before.
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, hi, Junior.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hi, Wallace. I didn't see you at first. Hey, how soon do we leave for Dugan's Lake?
Well, just as soon as little Debbie Lynn and young Ed Tatum show up.
Yeah, and good old Doc Gamble. Boy, I can't wait to get out there. Baseball, swimming, canoeing. What a day we're going to have.
By the way, pal, are you taking some coffee?
2 thermos jugs of it.
And some pet milk?
Half a dozen cans.
Ah, what a day we're going to have.
Junior, I realize life don't mean much to you unless it's got cut milk poured on it, but try to share our simple pleasures, too, eh, boy? Maybe we'll get up a ball game out there. Wouldn't you like to hit a home run?
No, pal, you hit the home run. I'll just sit there and think about it.
Think about a home run?
Yes, a home run properly with plenty of pet milk on hand for coffee.
Oh.
Ah, what a difference it makes in the taste of your coffee when you add the richness of pet evaporated milk.
I'll
Pets to give it that creamy color. Pets to give it that extra deliciousness.
smack the first pitch for at least a 2-bagger.
Speaking of a 2-bagger, pal, I've never known a man who didn't prefer his coffee with pet milk. They all appreciate that mellow, satisfying flavor that pet milk gives a steaming cup of coffee.
What's that got to do with the 2-bagger?
Well, when a man's wife serves him coffee with pet milk, he won't stop with 1 cup. He'll bag her for 2.
Wilcox, you're out of the game.
So am I, Harlow. I'm going into the woods with my bird book.
Nature study, eh, Wallace?
Yes.
Well, when you go into the woods, I'll fix you a container of coffee with pet milk to take along.
Oh, you're very thoughtful.
And I'll fix another container of coffee without pep.
Coffee without pep? What's that for?
That's for the birds.
Come on, sit down and rest, Mr. Wilcox. You must be exhausted.
Yes, sir. He's worn to a frazzle. Come in.
Hello, everybody. Here we are.
All set for the picnic.
It's Debbie. Yeah, come in, children.
Well, how are you? Now all we need is Doc Gamble.
And you got him? Oh, I drove the kids over here in my car. Hi, fellas. Hi, Doc.
Hello, Doc.
Well, come on. What are we waiting for, McGee? I thought we were going on a picnic.
Right. Let's get out to the lake.
Okay, you guys, grab this stuff and let's pack it in the car. I'll take the lunch hamper.
I'll take the thermos, Judge. I'll take the folding chairs.
Take a napkin.
Hey, that doesn't leave anything for me. What'll I take? You just take a good tight hold on Debbie's hand. One of us handsome gents might steal it from you.
Oh, come on. Let's get the cars back.
Okay.
Gee, I ought to be helping with something.
Oh, relax. Between those lads, they have 40 thumbs working on that job now, Ed. Well, how are things with you children? You getting any closer to the wedding bell?
Well, you know, we set a quota for ourselves, Mrs. McGee. We decided that when we had $1,000 saved, we'd do it.
I remember.
We're getting closer to our quota every day.
Saving money fast, are you?
No, we just cut down our quota every day. We decided now we'll settle for 100 in the bank.
Well, good. How much more do you need?
How much is $9.80 from 100?
Oh, dear. Well, I could give you the answer, but you wouldn't like it.
Oh, gee, I get pretty discouraged working at Kramer's sometimes, Mrs. McGee. Gosh, for 12 hours a day, you work your brains out, and what have you got? No brains.
Oh, now, don't be self-conscious, Ed.
Well, Mr. McGee and I got married. Oh, excuse me. 79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Dr. Gamble? He's outside right now, but... Oh, the hospital. Yes, I'll tell him right away. Oh, dear.
You trouble?
They want Dr. Gamble... Well, I better go tell him. Dr. Gamble, the hospital just called.
Oh, no. Oh, what do they want?
They said tell you it's an emergency, doctor.
That always
The
is.
nurse said just to tell you it's Mr. Wellington's ward.
What? That's an emergency?
It is in this case, son. Wellington is the richest old grouch in the county.
Yeah?
If I can get that ward off his chin, I can get a new wing for the hospital.
Oh.
I'm sorry, kids. No picnic for me today. Well, being a doctor was my own idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to my mother. She wanted me to be a ballet dancer.
Well, we're sorry you can't go with us, doctor.
Now, come on. Get that crate out of the driveway, wart snatcher. We're trying to go to a picnic here.
That's fun, kids. Bring him in tomorrow, Molly. I'll treat his poison ivy free.
Okay.
Go on, Pastor. Well, I guess we'll all have to go in our car. We'll pile in, everybody. Come on, we're off to Dugan's Lake. We've got our...
Oh, just look at that lake, Debbie.
Isn't it beautiful?
Terrific. Yeah, this is the spot, kid. Boy, what a day.
Oh, boy. I'm going right over there and climb that big tree with the acorns on it, that elm tree.
That's oak, Wimp.
This is me, too.
Ain't funny, McGee.
I didn't say it.
I said it, Mrs. McGee. I didn't cut him that time, and boy, I'm
Well,
so...
come on. Let's get out the water and everybody grab a canoe.
Well, shouldn't we unpack the car first?
Well, there's plenty of time for that.
Ah, just taste that air.
That is what, Harlow?
Oh, that's cute, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, yes. Isn't he a card?
Oh, I've got him winning on.
Encourage him, Debbie. Come on.
Here, Molly, how's this canoe for us? Looks good because... Hey, look at those 4 kids out there in the canoe. Don't they look like...
Why, I believe it is, McGee.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, give him a yell.
I hear you calling. We've been waiting just for you. Oh, hello, baby. Hello, honey. Hello, my sunshine. Step in my old canoe. There's always room for you. Everybody's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. And as we glide along, we'll sing our old sweet song. Remember moonlight and roses, and all of those moments we knew. Moonlight
snagged myself a 12-pound gar. Boy, when I drug that fish into the canoe, you like to left into the river.
Oh, but a sweet romantic memory.
Yeah. The reason I remember it so vividly is because that was a county record that year for the largest gar caught from the canoe by a guy with one hand.
Hey, Mr. McGee, we've been clear around the lake.
Yeah, good.
Are you having fun, Mrs. McGee?
Oh, yes, dear. We were just reminiscing.
Yeah, I was just thinking I wish Dr. Gamble could have come with us, Ed.
Oh, he's great. We're having a swell time, though. It's kind of fun handling a canoe.
You know something, Ed? I stole my first kiss from Molly in a canoe.
You did? Boy, a guy can sure get awful wet that way.
Yes, and this guy certainly did.
No, I'll never forget it, Tootsie. It was the 10th day of July, 1918, at 8:30 p.m. on the Illinois River.
Say, that's right. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, gee, Ed, I hope you can remember important things like that when you're as old as Mr. McGee.
I'll write him down.
Oh, boy, it was a beautiful moonlight night. We were drifting along in a canoe, past the brewery. I remember it was exactly 8:30 because the brewery whistle blew for the swing shift and scared the daylights out of Molly.
Oh, now,
He
McGee.
kind of clutched at me for a minute, and I seen my chance, so I leaned over and stole a kiss.
Were you excited, Mr. McGee?
Excited? Boy, I thought my head had blew up. Colored lights flashed in my eyes, pinwheels and skyrockets went off. Wow.
Pinwheels and skyrockets. In your head, huh?
No, in the canoe. We had half a boat full of fireworks from the week before, and I dropped a Cuban cigarette into it.
Gee, it sounds like a fiery romance, all right.
Well, he'd always thought of himself as being hotter than a firecracker, and he proved it.
Hey, did you kids see the other guys anyplace? They out on the lake?
No, Mr. Wilcox is down there by the picnic tables with a pocket knife.
He was carving on a big tree for about an hour.
Cutting his initials, huh?
Yes, sir. After he got through, we went over to see what he carved. It was a great big heart.
Yeah, no kidding. What did it say in it?
It said, Harlow loves pets, whoever she is.
Oh, yeah.
Guess we shouldn't have looked. Maybe he wants to keep it a secret.
If that's a secret, we're all dead.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that, boy. It's fairly common knowledge.
Well, hand me the paddle, Debbie. I'll breeze us around the lake again, huh?
All right, Ed. We'll see you up at the picnic table, huh?
Okay.
No hurry, dear. Aren't they cute, McGee? Look at them.
Yeah. Sure wish old Doc was here.
Oh, this is just wonderful, dearie. We should do this more often. Picnics are so much fun.
Yeah, there's only one thing missing. This picnic would be just perfect if good old Doc was here.
Well, personally, I don't miss him that much, dearie. Dr. Gamble is very nice, but I don't need him out here. Now, the lake is just like glass, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd like to just stay out here forever, you know that?
yeah. Wish old Doc was here, though.
You know something? You know what I wish, sweetheart?
What?
I wish we could go all the way back to that first kiss on the Illinois River and live it all over again the same way.
Well, that's a nice thing to say, Molly. I'd like that, too.
Good.
And you know what else I wish?
What, dearie?
I wish good old Doc was here.
Doc, Doc, Doc. Is that all you can think about, good old Doc? What do you want Dr. Gamble here for?
Because I packed the lunch in his car.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. This seems to be the week for celebrating some very special birthdays. Last Sunday was the third birthday of the Collins quadruplets of New York. And this coming Friday, the Casper quadruplets of Passaic, New Jersey, will be 16. To look at them now, it's hard to believe that these sturdy, robust teenagers were so tiny and delicate at birth. No one was sure that all four could possibly survive. But a wise doctor knew that pet evaporated milk has what it takes to help even the most delicate babies grow strong and sturdy. And the Casper children were given pet milk just a few days after birth. And during the 16 years since then, they have continued to thrive on this favored form of milk. If you have a baby, ask your doctor about his formula for using pet evaporated milk. And give your child the nutritional benefits of safe, easy-to-digest pet milk through all his growing years.
Well, I'll see if I can scratch up some supper, dearie.
Okay.
Did you get the hospital? Ring them again.
Oh, they finally answered. Said Doc Gamble just left a few minutes ago.
Is he coming over here? Where'd he go?
Picnic.
What?
Said he took 5 nurses and headed for Dugan's Lake. Moonlight picnic. Said Doc's furnishing the lunch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? Even a mother who thinks she's a very good mother might be surprised to learn what her children think about her. That's what happens to Sally Carter in the dramatic Mother's Day story on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. Don't miss this revealing, true-to-life story. And don't miss Mary Lee Taylor's recipe of the week for corned beef and cabbage. One of those easy one-dish dinners that husbands from coast to coast say is top. Remember, Pet Milk's double feature Mary Lee Taylor program comes to you next Saturday morning over NBC.
Next, it's Eddie Cantor's Show Business Show on NBC.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Dick LeGrand, Gil Stratton Jr., Gloria McMillan, and me, Arlo. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Band and Billy Mills Orchestra. When a young woman marries and starts to keep house, one of the first things she wants to learn is how to cook the foods her husband likes. And Pet Milk gives you young wives the help you want. Because on every tall can of Pet Milk, there's a husband-tested recipe. Before any recipe is put on a Pet Milk label, it's sent out to homes like yours, where the wives try the recipe and report what their husbands say about it. And on Pet Milk labels, you get only those recipes which have been given a big OK by the husbands. This, of course, is just one of the extras you get when you get Pet Evaporated Milk. Extra nourishment is another, because Pet Milk is double rich, concentrated to double richness by evaporation. And then there's extra economy, for Pet Evaporated Milk costs less generally than bottled milk or any other form of milk. So, for husband-pleasing recipes, for extra goodness, and extra economy, get Pet Milk, the first evaporated milk, the first choice of good cooks. There's an old Chinese proverb which says, "Gung bong hao yi wong bak," which translated means, when clever wife gets heart set on new piano, husband good as stuck. And by an odd coincidence, here's Mrs. Molly McGee with a young girlfriend of hers on their way home from a piano sale right now. As we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
I'm delighted to see that sale at the Bonton, Debbie, because McGee and I have needed a piano for years.
They had some wonderful bargains, all right. Do you really think you can get Mr. McGee to buy one?
Well, it won't be easy, but I think I can swing it. Now, when you and Ed Tatum get married, dear, just remember one thing. A husband and a hot biscuit are just alike. They both need a lot of buttering up.
Oh, that's cute. I'll remember that.
You see, men don't have many ideas of their own, the poor lads. And if you can take one of your ideas and make them think they thought it up, why, they're happy as birds.
Oh, you mean you're going to work it so Mr. McGee thinks he's the one who wants a new piano?
Exactly. That's it. It's a game, dear, like pin the tail on the donkey, only much easier, because this donkey cooperates. Pushes his tail right into the pin.
Well, how do you go about it, though?
Well, you watch. I'll walk in the door and say, McGee, I just saw a wonderful sale on pianos at the Bonton. And he'll say, a sale on pianos? My gosh, a piano costs a fortune.
Well, then what?
Then I'll say, but ours is shop theory. And he'll say, all it needs is tuning. I'll tune that piano myself. After he gets it all apart, he'll decide to buy a new one.
Gee, I think it's wonderful the way you figure things, but, well, how can you be sure
Well,
that
you come on in the house and I'll show you. Hello, dearie, home again.
Oh, hi, kiddo. Good morning, Debbie.
Hello, Mr. McGee.
McGee, I just saw a wonderful sale on pianos at the Bonton.
A sale on pianos? My gosh, a piano costs a fortune.
But ours is shop theory.
Ah, All it needs is tuning. I'll tune that piano myself.
Good.
You betcha. I'll go get my pliers and monkey wrench and get started on it right now.
You see, Debbie? Well, that's just terrific. Thanks for the husband handling lesson, Mrs. McGee. I'm going to run along now. Well, can't you stay a while? I want to stop and see Ed at the drugstore. There's a lovely scarf at the Bon-Ton, and I want to make Ed think it was his idea to get it for me. Bye now.
Goodbye, dear. Ah, what a happy wife she'll be. She learns so fast.
Well, I couldn't find my runky mensch. But this ball-peen hammer and my crowbar ought to fix that piano the way you want it.
I just know they will. I can't wait for you to start ruling or tuning it, dearie.
Okay, I'll hit a few keys first and see how it sounds. That last note seemed a little off to me.
Oh, you have a keen ear.
Yeah, I better take a look inside. You hit the keys while I poke around in here.
Right.
Well, what do you know about that? There's my old monkey wrench.
What?
Yeah, I must have left it in here the last time I tuned the piano. Sort of tangled in the strings there, but good yank ought to get it loose. There she comes. That ratted.
Break something?
The string busted. My gosh, they must make them out of spaghetti. Well, anyhow, I got my monkey wrench.
Come in.
Hello, Donnie. Hi, Johnny. What you doing, kid?
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi, old timer. I'm just getting ready to tune the piano.
No, I love music, son. Always reminds me of that old gang of mine. Did I ever tell you about that old gang, Johnny?
Yeah.
Thought so. Well, here we go again.
So?
That was a great old gang.
Yeah?
Used to hang out in the harness room at the livery stables.
Hmm?
There was Matty and Mo and Freddie and Joe. There was Eddie and Spike and Freddie and Isabel.
Isabel, how'd she get in there?
Oh, Johnny, she owned the livery stable.
Hey, your old gang loved music.
Sure did, daughter. We organized a drum bugle corps one year.
Oh?
Got us bugle book and taught ourselves to bugle. Very impressive group, that old gang of mine.
I'll bet.
Matty and Mo and Patty and Joe. Eddie and Spike and Freddie and Geraldine.
Geraldine come from?
Bought the livery stable from Isabel, daughter. Oh, I wish you could have heard us play The Stars of Stripes Forever.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, okay. Not forever.
Well, we got so good that they made us an offer to march in the Election Day Parade. So we ordered us some fancy uniforms.
Oh, I'd like to saw that.
Uniforms didn't get there until just before parade time, so we leapt into them and got ready.
Boy.
Green silk pants, red velvet jackets.
Wow.
Them tall fur hats that looked like teddy bears was roosting on our heads.
What a picture.
Well, sir, we got in the line, took a deep breath.
Yeah?
The leader gave us a downbeat. The parade started. We all tripped and fell flat on our faces.
My goodness, what did you trip on?
Our green silk pants, daughter. We forgot to order belts. Come on, kid.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and Teddy Cardo.
How's that sound, Molly? Better already, huh?
Certainly sounds different, all right.
Yeah. I already took care of one problem. You know them 3 keys that was always stuck when you hit them? You won't have any more trouble with them keys.
Good. Got them loose, did you?
Plenty loose. They're over there on the windowsill.
Oh, great.
They sure use cheap glue to put them ivories on with. I just gave one little lift with my crowbar, and all 3 keys fell off.
Well, I really think this was a wartime piano, dearie.
Yeah.
Civil War time. They don't make... Oh, come in. Hello, Ollie. Come in.
Yeah, good morning, Mrs. Hello, McGee.
Pull up a chair, Ollie. I'm pretty busy right now. Yeah, that's better. Ah, that's perfect. Let's see now.
Is he doing what it looks like, Mrs.?
That's right, Ollie. Tuning the piano.
Yeah, probably looks pretty tough to you, Ollie, but when you happen to have a natural talent for fixing things, plus perfect pitch and also an ear for music, it's simple enough.
Oh, you got a good ear for music, McGee. I can see that.
Betcha.
I often think what a fine mandolin pick your ear would make. You know, in fact, one of them ears would make sex mandolin picks back.
Okay. That's very funny.
Yeah, I thought so myself. You know, I give the kids at home lots of chuckles.
Well, you have a wonderful family, Ollie. Those children of yours must give you a lot of happiness.
Oh, sure they do, Mrs. You know, on weekends, for instance, when all the little fellas is home from school, I can't think of anything that makes a man happier than they used to get out of the house for a while.
That's a nice kid of yours in the Navy, that Lars. What do you hear from him? Anything?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Mrs. gets a wonderful letter from Lars for Mama's Day.
Oh.
He likes the Navy fine. He says he's going to stay in it when he gets out. And the letter says, Mama, he says, when I get to be a big admiral, I save all my money and I took care of you and Papa the rest of your life.
Now, isn't that sweet? That's what I mean, Ollie.
Yeah, that's very touching. Me and the message figures it up. When Lars gets to be an admiral, we'll be 218 years old. We won't need much. I go sit down now and bake.
Now, let me see. Boy, this is going to be a breeze, Molly. By the time I'm through with this job, it'll be just like you got a brand new piano.
That's exactly what I'm depending on, dearie.
Tuning the piano is a cinch for me on account of I come from a musical family. Had a cousin that played trumpet, and that trumpet was all he could think about. It even busted up his marriage.
Oh, how could that be?
Well, his wife was a bridge player, and every time she played an ace, he'd trumpet. You get it, kiddo? A trumpet is a horn when you play cards.
It ain't funny, McGee.
Well, my grandfather thought so. That was his favorite joke.
Well, you just go ahead with your tuning.
Okay, now.
Hi, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. Excuse me if I don't take your hat and coat. I'm busy.
What's with the piano, pal?
Well, it's a little out of tune, so himself is taking care of it.
Yeah, stick around till I get a tune, Junior. I'll beat out a little harmony for you, boy.
Well, if you're looking for harmony, pal, real sweet harmony, I can tell you where to find it.
Uh-oh.
Right in the pet milk recipe of the month.
Huh?
Chicken, peas, and rice dinner. Covers the entire musical scale.
Oh?
Let me show you. Here, tap out the scale for me, pal.
Humor him, dearie. Humor him. We're trapped.
Oh. Okay. Do.
Dough. That's the dough you save when you treat yourself to this delicious but economical dish. That milk's chicken, peas, and rice dinner.
Ray.
Ray. That's what you say after the first taste. Ray for that pet milk flavor.
Poor laddie works so hard.
Me. That's me, Harlow Wilcox, the man who gives you all these fascinating facts.
This guy's a regular Oscar Hammerhead.
Fa. That's what I'd say to anyone who doesn't try this pet milk recipe. Fa.
There's a lady present.
So, that means if you want to eat this combination of chicken, peas, and rice cooked with pep, you'll be completely sold on it.
Oh, dear. Now he's really grabbing.
Hurry, get up there.
Yeah, la. La. La.
La.
Better skip that one. You can't win them all.
No, I'll get it now. Okay, wait a minute. La.
La.
Oh, that's for the satisfying goodness of chicken, peas, and rice a la pep.
This thing's really getting a grip on him.
See, that's for the grocer you should see to get plenty of your favorite brand of canned peas and pet milk for this wonderful recipe. Dough. Say, I already did dough once, but there must be another one.
There is. Dough! That's for the dough. I wish you all wouldn't slam when you all go out.
Close it quiet. So long.
Well, maybe I can get back to my tuning. That last dough sounded a little flat. It's too low.
Low dough is nothing new to me. We've been on low dough as long as I can remember.
Hand me the monkey wrench. Thanks. You tap the key while I tighten the string, will you?
Right, maestro.
Good. Now try it again. I'll tighten it some more. Oh, Molly. You played it too hard. Gee whiz, you busted the string.
What? I broke it. Why? Come in.
Good morning, Molly. McGee.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, hi, Latrice.
What are you doing to that unfortunate piano, McGee?
Tuning. Hey, watch your feet there, Homer. Don't step on the lid there.
Lid?
Yes.
You mean to tell me one of these misshapen slabs of imaginary mahogany here is the lid of your piano?
No, both of them is the lid off of the piano. It's split.
Well, it's every man's right to destroy his own property, I suppose.
Certainly. Since when did you get so music-minded anyhow?
I have always been interested in music, McGee.
Huh?
In fact, Miss Newell and I often...
Ah, Miss Newell. How is she, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, Lillian is fine, Molly. Just splendid.
Still out to hook you, is she, Latrice?
Oh, don't be silly. Miss Newell's only love is music. She's a concert violinist, you know.
Yeah, well, you want to watch them female fiddlers, Latrice. She'll saw you into a sentimental mood some night and braid you an alder halter out of an old fiddle string. When she drags you down that aisle, boy.
Oh, no, don't talk silly. The idea of a delicate little thing like Miss Newell dragging anybody anywhere is ridiculous.
Oh, is she really delicate, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, quite, Molly.
Oh?
We were walking along Oak Street yesterday, and she turned her ankle on a matchstick. We had to stop and look in a shop window for several minutes before she was able to go on.
Oh, what shop was it?
A Huggins jewelry shop.
What was in the window?
Wedding rings.
Ah!
But it was merely a coincidence.
Now, McGee, don't tease Mayor Latrivia.
Oh, well, it doesn't bother me, Molly. When you've been in politics as long as I have, you learn to take it with a smile and turn the other cheek.
Is that what you do when your fiddling friend kisses you?
Yes, yes. First, she gently kisses the right cheek, and then I kind of... Don't stop it.
Alas, poor Homer. We knew him well.
McGee, Miss Newell is giving a concert tomorrow night at 8:30 at the Civic Auditorium.
Oh, fine.
It just occurred to me that I might run into you there.
Could be.
Fine. I'll look for you in front at 8 o'clock.
Thought it was 8:30.
It is, but at 8 I'll be driving up in my car. That's when I'd like to run into you. Good? The King's Men and Lady Luck.
Two arms eager, and so I've got two arms to hold. But they've been so empty, so long that heaven knows I need my lady love, lady love. Oh, beautiful toothpaste, beautiful soap, beautiful brush and comb. Fixing to meet my lady love, fixing to walk her home. Beautiful razor, beautiful blade, beautiful shaving cream. Fixing to hold my lady love, fixing to have a dream. Lady love, lady love. I've got two eyes, have I got two eyes to see my lady love. Oh, beautiful sound of pretty perfume, falling from time and dime. Sexy kiss my lady, fixing to have a time. Beautiful sunset, beautiful sky, beautiful everything. To love my lady, fixing to have a play. Beautiful Russian roll, fixing to kiss my lady, fixing to my lady,
I was asleep at the time. Would you do that?
A little more complicated than I thought.
Play that again, dearie. That's solid. It's gone, but really gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it back. This has taken a little longer than I thought, Molly.
Well, I'm so glad I married a man who's handy with tools.
Yeah?
Just think, if it wasn't for you being able to tune this old beat-up piano and fix it up, we'd have to buy a new one at that wonderful sale at the Bonton with no money down and only a few dollars a month in easy payments.
Yeah, well, watch behind you there, Molly. Don't stumble.
What's that thing?
That's a piano leg. Kind of come loose when I tried to tilt it a little so I could roll the marbles down to one corner that I dropped in there last summer when I was...
More company.
Yeah, it ought to be Ed from Kramer's drugstore. I ordered some stuff. Come in.
Oh, hello, Ed.
All right.
Hi, Mr. McGee. Here's the stuff you ordered, Mr. McGee. Bottle of glue and 6 bottles of root beer.
Oh, thanks, Ed. Set it on the piano there.
I'll take the root beer, Ed. I'll put it in the icebox.
Gee, Mr. McGee, you tuning that piano?
Yep.
That's a terrific job, isn't it? I mean, it takes talent.
Ah, well, when you've been a husband as long as I have, you develop a talent for a lot of things. I got to tighten this string a little. Ah, that ought to. That rat. Busted. Yeah. Well, I'll fix that one later. Put it on the floor there with the other busted strings, Ed.
Oh, gosh, is that what those are?
Mm.
I thought it was a roll of barbed wire. Gee, you'll tackle anything, won't you?
Well, a husband these days has got to be pretty ingenious. Look, Ed, I'll give you a little advice for when you get married yourself, son.
Yes, sir?
All you got to do with a wife, Ed, is outthink 'em. Yeah. Now, my wife, Molly, come home today all set to buy a new piano. But I merely put my foot down. I had to be firm with her, but I told her no deal.
Gosh, you're the boss, huh?
Well, Natch.
Was she sore?
Sore? Nah. I told her I'd tune up this old one for her, and it tickled her to death. They're just like little kids, Ed. They keep trying, but if it don't work, they're just as happy. Do me a favor, will you?
Sure.
Out in my garage on the top shelf, there's a pair of wire cutters. I got to untangle a few of these strings.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll get them. Top shelf, huh?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Well, back to work, McGee. Got a piano to tune here, boy. Ooh. Is that awful? Now, let's see if I can reach down in here and tighten these bass strings without... Whoa! Dad-brat it, I lost my wrench in the piano again. All the rotten, dirty... Oh, well. All I gotta do is reach down in there and get it. Give it a little yank. This ain't the... Hey, last time I tuned this thing, there was a great big bolt underneath here. Oh, there it is, big bolt. I loosened it and it done something. Oh, I'll loosen it up and see what it's for. It's coming. A little more.
Here's your wire cutters, Mr. McGee, and... Mr. McGee, where are you?
Lift this dad-rat piano off me, Ed.
Oh, gee, what the... Are you all right?
Yeah. Phew. Yeah, that's what that bolt was for.
Boy, you sure got this old piano laid out so you can work on it now, all right.
Yeah, well, Gosh, you sure have taught me how to handle a wife. The way a husband can save himself money if he knows how...
Ed.
Yes, sir?
There are certain times when a guy finds it cheaper to just go ahead and buy something new instead of wasting his valuable time trying to patch up something old. See?
It does? I mean, it is?
I already told Molly she couldn't buy a new piano, so she gave up the idea. See, she's perfectly happy about it.
Oh, she seems happy, all right.
Yeah.
She was singing and chuckling to herself out there.
Yeah, but I have now decided that the thing to do is to buy a new one. Keep her that way. Watch this. Hey, Molly.
Yes, dear? Yes.
I've been thinking things over, kiddo, and you've been a good kid.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
You deserve a new piano, baby, and I'm going to buy you one.
Oh, McGee, you darling. You're so good to me.
Gee, are you a hero now?
Yeah. Well, call the Bon-Ton, Molly. Tell them to bring out a piano. They can take this one in for a down payment. And...
Wonderful. All right, Bon-Ton, bring it in. Come in, boys.
Hey, watch it, Penny. Easy. Take it.
I'm sorry to kept you waiting outside so long.
Oh, that's okay, ma'am. Show it where you want it. Easy. Watch it.
Well, what the... Well, I'll be one too, Mr. McGee. Boy, am I confused.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. There are times when nothing seems to give you the same lift, the same deep-down satisfaction as a good cup of coffee. And one thing that makes a good cup of coffee taste extra good is Pet evaporated milk. Just a little Pet milk gives coffee a tempting, creamy color because Pet is a concentrated milk. Sweet country milk concentrated to double richness. And it's that double richness of Pet milk that makes your coffee taste extra good, too. You see, when you use Pet evaporated milk in place of cream, your coffee still has that full-bodied flavor, that characteristic coffee goodness that you enjoy so much. When you use Pet milk instead of coffee cream, you get a lot more for your money, too. In fact, you get more than twice as much for your money because Pet milk costs less than half of what you'd pay for cream. So, for your own coffee drinking enjoyment, for extra goodness, extra savings, too, use Pet evaporated milk. Get several cans at your grocer's tomorrow.
My, it's been an exciting day, McGee. That's just a beautiful piano.
Yeah.
And when you get a minute, dearie, would you do something for me?
Hmm?
The refrigerator has a little squeak in it. Would you put a drop of oil in it?
Oh, no. No, sir, not today. You buy a new one. I'm through. Good night.
Good night, Al.
The first evaporated milk, Pet milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? Take two lonely people, a man 60 and a child of 6. Put them in a situation that calls for extra understanding, and you have the ingredients for the heartwarming story of the week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. The second big feature is the recipe of the month for chicken, peas, and rice dinner. A tasty, satisfying one-dish dinner that's a big hit with husbands the country over. For a double measure of good listening, tune to Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning on NBC.
Now, Eddie Cantor presents his show business show on NBC.
The Pet Milk Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The First Evaporated Milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, Cliff Clark, Marion Richmond, Harry Lang, Peter Leeds, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Have you heard the exciting news about Mary Lee Taylor's recipe for chicken, peas, and rice dinner? It's been voted the recipe of the month. Right now it's being featured on a special recipe slip in grocery stores from coast to coast. Now, what makes it so special? Listen. Reason number one, Mary Lee Taylor soaks the chicken in Pet milk before it's fried. Make it juicier, more tender with a crisp golden brown coating you can't get any other way. Reason number two is the gravy. Rich tasting, creamy smooth, the kind you can make only with milk like Pep's evaporated milk. Good sweet country milk concentrated to double richness. And reason number 3 is the idea of adding canned peas, a favorite family vegetable, to make this almost a complete meal in one, easy-to-serve dish. Tomorrow at your grocer's, get some Pep milk and your favorite brand of canned peas. Take along the recipe slip featuring chicken, peas, and rice dinner, and have this wonderful treat for your family soon. The carnival has come to Wistful Vista, and the air is filled with the happy sounds that a carnival always brings. That was the merry-go-round. That was the shooting gallery.
Give me a hot dog with chili and sauerkraut, some frozen custard, and a taffy apple.
And that was Mr. McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Ah, boy, oh boy, the carnival. There's nothing like it, kiddo.
I just love it. Listen to the man over there.
Yeah.
And presenting for the first time, Colonel Jonathan Whiteside, the midget, 5 feet 7 in the stocking feet. The Colonel comes to us direct from a world tour.
The tallest midget. This really takes me back, Molly. Back to the days when I was head man of a big carnival outfit myself.
You head man of a carnival?
Yep.
That's a chapter of your life I never heard before.
Well, it was right after I split up with Fred Nittany, the guy that I and him had a vaudeville act together from Starved Rock, Illinois. You've heard about Fred.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. We'd worked up a real clever act, tap dancing on stilts while we juggled 4 live guinea pigs and sang Mother McCree.
Oh, I'd like to saw that.
But we couldn't get any work, so we split up the guinea pigs and split up.
That was when you went to work for a carnival?
Yep, Carruthers Brothers Colossal Combined Carnival Show. We had some wonderful guys with that carnival, Molly.
You did.
My best pal, the guy that him and I were practically insufferable together, was a guy by the name of P.T. Wingding.
Oh, one of the Wingding brothers, no doubt.
I never met his family. But old P.T. was a first-class carnival man. His specialty was guessing people's weight, and I only saw him got fooled once.
Somebody wear a brick under their hat to throw him off?
No, a man come up one night with a bay window that would have looked fine on a small hotel. P.T. looked at him and he says, "Mister," he says, "that can't be real. You tried to confuse me by stuffing a balloon under your vest." Oh, boy, did that guy get so.
Well, I don't blame him. You'd be mad, too, if you were overweight and somebody said that to you.
Well, it wasn't only what P.T. said, but he was so sure he was right that he stuck a pin in the guy. He could have heard him screech from one end of the midway clear down.
Oh, look, McGee. Isn't that Mr. Wimple standing there by the booth?
Oh, sure it is. Hi, Wimp.
Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Well, hello, folks.
You having fun at the carnival, boy?
Oh, I've just had a peachy afternoon, Mr. McGee. I rode on the Ferris wheel, and I tossed rings and won a Boy Scout knife with a picture of Lillian Russell on the handle.
Oh.
Those are nice.
Yes, and I went to see Sahara Sarah, the King of Egypt's favorite dancing girl,
Oh.
says on the poster.
Which king of Egypt is that?
King Tut, I think.
Oh.
He announced that she was dedicating the dance to her dear old mummy.
We're starting to see things ourselves, Mr. Wimple. What'd you like best so far?
Well, I just love Professor Callahan and his royal fleas, Mrs. McGee.
Royal fleas.
Yes, I understand they originally came off a poodle named Prince. It was a wonderful show, really. They rode bicycles and climbed ladders, and then for the finale, 6 little fleas in paper skirts did a hula dance.
Gosh, that's amazing. 6 dancing fleas.
Oh, it was fascinating.
Yeah?
The way they wiggled and twisted. After a while, a lady in the audience started to wiggle and twist, too.
She really got into the spirit of the hula dance, did she?
Well, that's what I thought until I counted the fleas. Only 5 of them took a bow at the finish.
Well, this is all old stuff to me, Wimp. I used to be in the carnival business myself.
Well, the carnival has played a part in my life, too, Mr. McGee.
Yeah?
In fact, it was right here at this very booth that I met the girl who is destined to become Sweetie Face, my big old wife.
Gee whiz, you met her right here at this booth, huh?
Yes,
Isn't that romantic?
yes. ever comes to town, I come back here and go to a sort of, little ceremony, you might say.
Oh.
George, will you do the honors again this year?
Oh, glad to, Mr. Wimple. You ready?
Ready, George.
Bend over. Hands on your knees.
Hands on my knees.
Hey, what's he going to...
Here we go.
Hey, why, he kicked the daylight.
Oh, that was a good one. Thank you, George. I deserve it. We'll see you next year. So long.
So long.
Willie Mills, the orchestra, and goody goody.
You getting a kick out of it, kiddo?
Oh, every minute of it, dearie.
Well, this ain't much of a carnival compared to the one that I was the head man of it. Back when I and P.T. Wingding worked together. We were two of the...
Oh, look, McGee. A fortune teller. Madam Cleo sees all, tells all. Let's go in there.
Oh, Molly, them fortune tellers are fake. They can't tell you your own name.
I already know my name.
Oh.
Come on, it's all in fun. Please, dearie.
Oh, okay. Well, watch yourself. Don't trip over the tent flap.
It's dark in here.
Greetings, O seekers after knowledge.
Hi, sis.
I'd like my fortune. I'd like to have my fortune told, miss. Are you Madam Cleo?
I am she, Madame Cleo, the possessor of mystic powers, she who sees all and tells all.
Gabby, huh?
Madame Cleo from the land of Egypt, where I was born the seventh daughter of a seventh daughter.
My gosh, what a line there must have been outside your bathroom.
Ah, so you may scoff. I reveal the past, the present, and the future. When the reading is completed, you may cross my palm with silver.
Okay, just so you don't expect me to tickle it with folding money.
The lady will sit beside me while I gaze into the crystal ball.
Yes, Madam Cleo.
I concentrate my powers. The crystal ball is dim and cloudy.
Maybe you ought to go over it with a damp rag.
Quiet, dearie.
I see that you are married. Ah, you have a husband.
Now, that's pretty darn mystic. Real power to figure out a married woman has a husband.
Your life has been made full and rich by the strength of his noble character and the brilliance of his mind.
Oh. Gee, maybe I got you wrong, Cleo. This stuff's starting to make sense.
Ah, your future will be completely happy because of this generous, handsome, and talented husband.
Oh, so.
That completes the reading.
And Cleo, I apologize. There's plenty of phonies in this racket, but you're on the level. Here's $2.
Madame Cleo thanks you.
Well, come on, Molly. Let's take a ride on the merry-go-round.
Coming, McGee.
Oh, just a moment.
Yes?
Say, you didn't even crack a smile when I was laying it on. So, say, Fairway split the tank.
What?
Here's $1 for you, sister.
Well, thanks, sister.
Coming, Molly?
Right away, dearie, and this time it's my treat.
Huh. Well, that merry-go-round ride was a dilly, wasn't it, kiddo?
Oh, it was delightful. Did you find the lady who lost the blouse?
No, I gave it to the operator. I guess the lady ran off somewhere.
Well, I don't wonder.
Yeah.
Must have been terribly embarrassing to have the blouse pulled right off her back.
Well, she shouldn't have been standing there when I was grabbing for that brass ring. Be careful the way people act at a carnival. Something.
Here's your cigar, sir.
Hey, come on, let's look at that, Molly.
Who'll be the next to swing the mallet, ring the bell, and win himself one of these fine Pomona Coronas? Step up and demonstrate your strength, gents.
I'll take a swing, sir. Hand me the mallet.
That's Mr. Wilcox.
Hey, hold everything, Junior.
Hi, pal. Hi, Molly.
Well, set the mallet down, Willie. That ain't for you, son.
What do you mean? I'm in fine shape, pal. I get plenty of exercise.
Yeah, but what you exercise won't help you here. You don't hit that thing with your tongue.
Stop kidding, pal. You're forgetting that I was a pet milk baby.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. When you're raised from babyhood on pet evaporated milk, you develop a sturdy body and strong, straight bones. You ever notice the strong, straight bones in my legs?
Call me a fool, Junior, but I never even noticed your legs.
Well, I'm a pretty husky specimen, thanks to pet. All pet milk babies thrive on that nourishing goodness because pet contains all the body-building milk minerals that baby needs to ensure steady growth right from the start. That's why pet milk babies grow up to be such rugged citizens.
Well, bless your rugged, straight bones. But you better let me show you how to ring the bell on this gadget. I was head man of a carnival once, and I know all the tricks.
All right, here's the mallet. Swing away.
How does that thing work, dearie?
Well, you smack it here with the mallet, and that weight flies up, see? If you're a he-man like I'm one, it goes all the way and hits the bell up to the top and hits the bell.
Well, this one has an added feature.
Oh?
Yeah, it makes other noises to show how well you've done.
What are the noises?
Go on, you'll find out.
Okay. Give me room. What was that?
A rough whistle. That means you did as well as an 18-year-old girl.
Oh, my foot slipped. I'll whack her again. Hey, was that a cork popping?
No, that was bubble gum.
Oh?
That means you did as well as a 10-year-old boy.
Well, you've reached your own sex, McGee. Quit while you're ahead.
Ah, here. Let me have that mallet.
Okay, wise guy, let's see you do better. Take the mallet.
Watch it. Here goes.
Well, you rang the bell.
Yeah, I don't get it. You ain't much younger than me, Junior. How come you can ring that bell and I can't?
Well, it's very simple, pal. I've stayed with Pet, and you've gone to pot.
Come on, Jeff. I'd rather show off. My foot hadn't have slipped, I'd have showed it.
All right, lover. Don't let it upset you.
No, I will.
Let's see what's in the tent here where the crowd is.
Okay.
And the management has entitled this fascinating special attraction, Art in a Bathing Suit. It's educational, anatomical, and instructive.
I wonder what that is.
Well, I don't know, but let's
And, gentlemen, if I could have your close attention, please.
Huh?
This interesting feature is not open to the general public.
Oh.
We're offering it for art lovers only. If you show some bona fide evidence of your interest in art, such as a lead pencil or a copy of an Esquire calendar, we'll welcome you to our special showing of Art in a Bathing Suit. Okay, Art, go get the bathing suit on.
Okay, Eddie.
Heavenly days, what'll they think of next?
I don't know, but whatever it is, the yokels will pay to see it. I mind when I was head man of the carnival that I and my old pal, old P.T. Wingding, worked with. We had a...
Hello there, missus. Hi, McGee.
Well, Ole, fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy seeing you too, missus.
Well, where's the family, Ole? You sneak out on them?
No, I used to put the missus and the kids on the Ferris field, McGee.
Oh?
I don't waste my money on rides. I use it up to play a game with a fella that has 3 little shells, and under 'em he puts a dry bean.
Oh, I see. The old army game, huh?
No, that was a Navy bean, McGee.
Well, Ollie, what kind of shells does he use?
Well, I think these must have been shotgun shells, missus. They sure was loaded. I dropped 65 cents in less than an hour.
Well, you got to be hip to the gimmicks around these joints, Ole. I know because I used to be with a carnival at one time. I got a lot of memories of my old carnival days.
I get lots of memories of carnivals myself, McGee.
Yeah?
Even now, when I go to the carnival, with all the excitement, the merry-go-round goes poo, 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 and the calipaloopy toodles, and I used to get all filled up with old neuralgia.
No, you mean nostalgia.
I do? Well, all I know is the missus gives me some aspirin, and it goes away.
Well, that's neuralgia, Ollie.
McGee, you said it was nostalgia.
Well, I thought you meant nostalgia.
I said neuralgia.
You said the carnival brings back a lot of memories. When you get all full of memories, that's nostalgia.
Well, what's neuralgia?
A pain in the neck.
That's what I got from the carnival. That's so long, missus. So long, neuralgia. The King's Men and Kiss of Fire.
Why don't you listen all at once the sparks so flying? Those devil lips that melt so well the flying. And though I see the danger still, the flame grows higher. I know I must listen to your kiss of fire. Just like a torch, you set the soul within me burning. No returning. So it burns me and it turns me into ashes. My whole world crashes with ashes of fire. Kiss of fire. I know I can't resist you. What good is there in trying? What good is there denying? Since I first kissed you, my heart is completely. If I must say, then it's a slave I want to be. Don't pity me. Touch your lips and all at once the sparks go flying. The flame grows higher. I know I must. Give me your lips, if you only let me try. Me tonight and let me know that I must have your kiss, although it dooms me, though it consumes me. Your kiss of fire. Your burning kiss of fire.
What is that side shelf on?
Yeah, well, let's see what this says.
All right. This is it, folks. The Wheel of Fortune from the song of the same name. You there, the pretty lady with a flat-faced boyfriend. Step right over here and win yourself a beautiful lamb. Bring her up here, short sport.
Come on, dearie, let's try it.
Oh, you can't win, Molly. I'm an old carnival man, and
How much is it, sir?
Only 25 cents, the inconsequential part of $1, to win one of these handsome abalone lamps, imported from the faraway island of Santa Catalina.
I've heard of that place.
Look at that beautiful abalone table lamp. Lifetime of work went into that, my dear.
whose lifetime?
The abalone. Put your money on the line, folks.
I'll take number 12.
I must apologize for the lack of a hostess today. Sadie the Shill is usually here to greet my guests, but she's spending a few days with the gendarmes. Caught her stealing a tattoo off the Illustrated Man. Told her she couldn't lift the battleship Maine, but it's, stopping on number 12. Held by the cute little lady with a grouchy grandpa.
McGee, I won.
Well, congratulations, Molly.
Thank you, Dr. Gamble.
Oh, hi, Ham Hocks. What brings you out here?
Well, I got a call from Benzino, the fire eater.
Oh?
Isn't feeling well.
What's his trouble?
Got a fever blister.
Oh. Probably something he ate. This is kind of like old home week for me, Fatso. I used to be an old carny man, you know.
You're still an old corny man. In fact, you're the corniest old man.
No, Doctor, that isn't what he means. McGee means you used to work in a carnival.
He knew what I meant.
Oh, I think I saw him one time, Molly.
Yeah?
Did you wear a well-chewed gorilla skin and bill yourself as Bongo, the almost human? Because a shape like yours, even under
Look who's talking about shape. Huh? If I was afraid to walk down the street in the summer in a white suit because laundrymen kept throwing me up on top of a truck, I wouldn't be afraid.
Now, don't talk like that.
No, don't talk like that. Besides, it only happened once.
Even then, it took 2 laundrymen to do it. As I was about to say, when you got so insulting, you big glass house liver, I used to be the head man of a carnival bigger than this one I was.
Head man?
Yeah.
You? It must have been a fast trip to bankruptcy.
Oh, is that so, Fatso? Well, for your information, I wish some of my old friends were here right now. My old pal P.T. Wingding, the guy and I and him used to work together in the carnival.
Hi there, folks. You's a pretty little debutante with the 2 handsome gentlemen. Step right over here. Let me guess your weight, little girl.
Who, me? Oh, my. Not in front of the men, please. I'm going to start my diet tomorrow.
I'll whisper it to you, lady, and if I don't guess within 5 pounds, you win yourself a beautiful half-pound of genuine Lowney's chocolate.
Hey, that's a familiar voice. Hey, Bud, ain't you?
McGee. Oh, Fibber McGee.
My gosh, old P.T. Wingding.
In the flesh, 158 pounds.
Well, what do you know? Gee whiz, old P.T. Long time no see, P.T.
Same corny old Fibber. Hallelujah. 172.
73.
Cute chick you got there, Fib.
Yeah.
118 pounds.
Yeah.
Whatever become of the little blonde?
I'd like you to meet my wife, Molly, P.T. Molly, this is old P.T. Wingding.
How do you do, I'm sure?
And this is our old family physician, P.T., Doc Gamble.
217 and a half. Hi, Doc.
Well, I'm glad to meet you, sir. We were just talking about McGee's old carnival days.
Yeah.
He claims to have been head man with some outfit.
The greatest head man in the carny business, Doc.
No. You mean he really was?
Yeah. You big scoffer.
He had a technique for handling his job, Doc. It was the most sensational.
Oh.
Hey, McGee.
Yeah?
Boy, am I glad to see you. We're all trying to double up here this afternoon. The head man is sick today. How'd you like to take over for the day? Your old job is awaiting for you.
Oh, my. That sounds exciting.
Oh, well, no. I've been out of the business so long, P.T., I wouldn't know all that.
Don't be silly, boy. It'll come back to you in no time.
Oh, dear.
We need you, son. Come on, down this way.
Oh, well, Chuck.
This I have got to see at close range. How this lad is going to handle a job like
Well,
this.
I don't know.
Wait till the fellas find out who the new head man is. Come on, here's your office.
Well, I could take over just for today till your regular head man gets back. Doc, you and Molly go ride the Ferris wheel. Go on, go ahead, enjoy yourself. I'll get to work and I'll...
Oh, no. I'm going to stay right with you, dear.
Me, too. I want to see just how the head man of a carnival operates. What does the head man do?
He uses his head, naturally.
What else?
Yeah. As soon as I get it through this hole in the canvas here. Hold my hat, Molly. Help me get my head through, P.T.
What? What's this?
Well, I'll be doggone.
I'm all set, P.T.
All right, folks, sit right up and fire the baseball. 3 throws for 2 bits. Hit the head man and win a Cupid off. Presenting the greatest head man in the carnival business.
Wait a minute, I'll take $1 worth. No, give me $10 worth. Oh, this is going to be fun.
No, doctor. Oh, no, you'll hurt him.
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. In recent months, Pet Milk Company has celebrated 5 special birthdays. Yes, in the past 5 months, 5 sets of Pet Milk quadruplets have had birthdays. And now comes another important Pet Milk birthday. Friday of this week, the Fultz quadruplets, those 4 identical little Negro girls of Reedsville, North Carolina, will be 6 years old. During that time, they've developed from tiny babies of just 3 pounds each to sturdy, vigorous youngsters averaging about 47 pounds each. Much of the credit for this exceptional development goes to the wise doctor who, shortly after the babies were born, approved Pet's evaporated milk for their feeding. And they've continued to thrive on this favorite form of milk since then. In Pet Milk, these babies get all the essential milk minerals combined with just the right amount of vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, in safe, easy-to-digest form. And on their feedings of pet milk, the Fultz quadrupeds have developed into sturdy, vigorous, happy children. We're mighty proud of them.
Well, I must say you did a fine job as head man out there, dearie.
Thanks, kiddo. Everybody said I was greatest.
You were, too.
Yeah.
I just hope your success hasn't made you too conceited.
Conceited?
Yeah. Judging from the lumps, it certainly gave you a swelled head. My goodness, don't you get it? Lumps, head.
It ain't funny, Mrs. McGee. Good night.
Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber McGee and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? There are some things, emotional, sentimental things, that only a woman can understand. And it's this sort of thing that Sally Carter has the courage to speak up about in the Story of the Week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. Be sure to hear it. On the same program, you'll hear Mary Lee Taylor's special recipe for a favorite American dessert, strawberry shortcake with whipped topping. A recipe that will be your favorite shortcake recipe once you try it. So be listening for the dramatic Story of the Week and the special recipe of the week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program, a Saturday morning highlight on NBC.
Now stay tuned for What's My Line on NBC.
The Pet Milk program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, presents Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Gil Stratton Jr., and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. People do a lot of kidding about the terrible biscuits the bride bakes. But I'll bet a lot of brides are mighty good cooks, especially those who use Mary Lee Taylor husband-tested recipes. You see, first these recipes are developed in the famous Pet Milk kitchens. Then they're sent out to homes like yours, where the wives try the recipes and report what their husbands say about the food. Only those recipes given a big okay by husbands are called husband-tested. And you get one of these valuable husband-tested recipes on the label of every tall can of Pet brand evaporated milk. And don't forget, when you get Pet Milk, you're getting milk that's double rich, concentrated to double richness by evaporation. And you're getting that milk for less generally than you'd pay for any other form of whole milk. So make sure the milk you buy is Pet evaporated milk. And make sure the recipes you use are husband-tested. There is much to be said for getting up at the crack of dawn and being out to greet the rising sun. And look who's saying it right now as we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
I tell you, McGee, that sunrise was just beautiful.
Yep.
There I was, you see, out in the backyard, hanging up a line full of your wet socks, when the sun came peeping up over the gas company.
Yeah. Well, comes up at that side of town pretty near every morning. I'm sorry I didn't get to see it this morning, but I run into trouble the first thing right off this morning. I couldn't get my dad-ratted pajamas off till nearly 10 o'clock.
Why not?
I was asleep. This really is great weather, though. Day like this makes me want to get outdoors and do things.
Good.
You know what I'm going to do right now?
What?
Take a nap. I'm going to put up the hammock in the backyard and stretch out in it, and did you ever see it to fail? Try to do something constructive, and somebody always interrupts with a telephone.
I'll get the phone. Don't worry about it.
You get it, I won't.
79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking.
Me speaking.
Who? Oh, yes. Oh, this afternoon, huh?
Not me this afternoon.
All right, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
Who was it?
Dr. Gamble's nurse.
Huh?
The doctor's out, but he left a note on her desk to call you.
Me?
Yes, she says to tell you to come to his office this afternoon. The doctor is picked today for your checkup.
What? Oh, no, he don't. I won't go.
But, McGee, if he's picked today to do it...
Let him pick some other day. Or better still, let him pick some other pigeon. He's already picked this poor pigeon clean anyhow. I don't need no checkup.
Oh, now, McGee, we go through this every year. Why don't you just be a good boy this time and go have your examination?
Because I don't need any examination. Every year it's the same old malarkey. Cut down on cigars. Take more exercise. Don't have so much fun. You ought to just write it to me in a letter and save me the trouble of taking my clothes off.
Now, that isn't fair. Dr. Gamble is very conscientious.
Conscientious, my fine, healthy clavicle. That guy's been thumping thummies so long, it's nothing but a routine with him. I stretch out on the table, strip down like a hot rod car, and his mind is a million miles away.
It is?
Well, I admit I ain't no art study, but he don't even know I'm there.
Well, he must, dearie. He always shudders at the first look.
Yeah. He ain't thinking about me. When he looks down my throat, he's thinking about the first hole on the golf course. When he jabs his finger in my middle, he's thinking about the pot roast he's going to have for dinner.
Well, now, just the same, I think you ought to let him look you over.
Who's that? If that's him, if that's not Gamble, I'll duck out the back way.
Relax, relax. It's the old-timer. Come in.
Hello there, kids. Hi, daughter. Hi, Johnny.
Hello, Mr. Old-timer.
Hi, old-timer. How are you, boy?
In pink, Johnny, in pink.
Good. How you keep that way, anyway? You spend much time at the doctor's?
Not me, Johnny. You get in the habit of running to the doctor, and it can change your whole life.
Yeah?
Like it done to my old friend Abner Coggleshell.
What happened to Abner?
Well, sir, Abner got a Charlie horse in his leg when he was a kid.
Oh?
Not being very bright, he thought he ought to go to a horse doctor. Veterinary fixed him up fine, and that done it. From then on, when he didn't feel good, back he went to the vet.
Why not, if it made him happy?
I started to change, daughter.
Yeah?
After a while, Abner's friends noticed that for breakfast he wasn't eating rolled oats or puffed oats. He was just eating plain oats.
Kind of started thinking of himself as a horse, huh?
Yep. Took to wearing a blanket instead of a coat. Cutting holes in his straw hat for his ears to stick through.
Heavenly days.
Then Abner fell in love.
Oh, dear.
Honey, he says to the girl, let's you and me get hitched. Okay, she says, and the first thing she knew, he had harness and a halter on the both of them.
I suppose that ended the romance.
No, daughter. Abner was so persistent, the girl just couldn't say nay.
What?
They had a real nay. Wedding, too.
Yeah?
Church decorated with alfalfa blossoms, the organ playing the light cavalry overture. While the bride trotted down the aisle wearing a floral horseshoe.
Sounds pretty high society, boy. They still married?
And very happy, Johnny.
Yeah?
Been together ever since. And they got two fine youngsters named Whirlaway and Seed Biscuit.
You know, this happened because your friend Abner got a Charlie horse when he was a boy.
Yep. And an interesting thing occurred yesterday, daughter.
Nay.
Abner was playing cowponies and Indians with the youngsters.
Yeah?
And he got a big lump on his leg again.
Oh, dear.
The vet looked at it and said he couldn't handle it. Said what Abner had was a genuine Charlie people.
The Charlie people?
Yep. Abner started going to a people doctor again, and this is where I came in, so I'll go out so long, too.
He's an interesting old character. What are you looking at?
Hey, out there, at the curb. There's a car pulling up. It's him. That's Doc Gamble. My gosh, come on. Let's duck out the back way.
Don't be silly, McGee.
Come on.
Look, now, if you don't want him to examine you, just tell him so. Although I think you should.
Tell him. You ever try to tell that guy anything? He'll have me down with his knee on my chest and a stick down my throat before I can even defend myself. Come on, grab your hat, quick.
I'm not going to do it. Now, this is just silly.
Well, I'll see you later, kiddo. I'll be home for dinner.
McGee, wait for baby!
Billy Mills, the orchestra, and I'll walk alone.
Thank you.